Are you feeling your knees from running, or did you give up running because your knees hurt? Let me show you 2 things you can do to help you both relieve that knee pain and also prevent it from coming back. So this is really nice. This is called the ready stance. And I want you to think about when you're standing, bend your knees. So your knees need to be free when you're standing. What does that mean? Well, if you stand right now, so if you're watching this, do this with me. If you're listening, do it later. If you stand and lock the knee, so just take your knees, and what does that mean? That means I'm pressing them back, I'm extending. So when I do that, what happens is a lot of things are happening. So right now my quads are engaging. Um, you're feeling like a little bit out of balance because as soon as I straightened my knees, my upper body had to go forward as a counterbalance, right? If my knees are going back, my upper body just went forward. So if you stand with your knees locked, you're asking muscles to do work that they really don't want to be doing in that moment. So if my quads and my hips have to work to keep my knees extended and to balance. See, now my upper body's forward. I have weight on my lower back. It's just not a very good position. So imagine if this is how you're standing. Now look at the difference if you bend your knees. As soon as you bend your knees, as soon as you bend, you are telling your system, you're telling your body, one, you're free to move. It's relaxed. When you lock a joint, that's action, and it's a negative action because it's a holding action, and it's going to fatigue not just your muscles, but your tendons and the joint itself. It's like a constant stress on the joint. And think about when you stand. None of us stand and lock our elbows, right? You know, why would you do that? That just seems so awkward. So why do we stand and then lock that joint? Who knows? So I'm going to now think about, it's called the ready stance. When I'm standing, anytime, I'm going to check that my knees are free. You see, it's a very simple thing. So I don't want your knees bent so much that you feel like you're doing a squat. Like, this is painful. This is not going to feel good. Just enough bend that they're free. And if you do this, then you're going to say you're going to start walking. Let's go with walking first. Here I go. I'm going to walk. I'm going to lift my torso. I'm going to pull my foot. You see? And this is also so much less stress on the knee. In running, it's the exact same thing. When the knee is bent, you're able to use muscle elasticity. This is what saves your joints. And it also reduces stress and fatigue on the muscle and the joint and the tendons and all of the bones. So what you want to think about when you're running is if my knee is bent, so let's just pull in place. I'm not even going to travel. Just pull in place. Up, up, up. Here we go. Up, 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 up. Your knees are bent because if they locked in place, you would immediately feel like a jarring or a stop. So if I try to lock my knees, I'll have to really think about it. I mean, it just feels incorrect, right? It's not pleasant. So keeping your knees bent when you're standing, when you're walking, and when you're running, huge amounts of difference of impact in your run and in your standing and in your walking, which is all connected. So I'm going to start thinking about, it's called the ready stance. Are my knees free? Where's your body weight, by the way, when you stand? This is also really important. So you should be able to wiggle your toes. I can wiggle my toes. My heels are free. My knees are free. My heels are free. Where's your body weight? It's on the ball of your foot. So whether you're going to run or whether you're going to walk, it doesn't matter. You're going to be in that same ready stance. So practice this when you're standing. This is the best part. And I want to keep my ears, shoulders, hips in line. When my knee is bent, look at that line. When I extend, remember, I just showed you, as soon as you straighten the knees, shoulders came forward. Now I've got pressure on my lower back, hips, that's going to shoot right down to that knee. So the minute you bend your knees, again, letting my body know it's ready to move, that's the ready stance. I can hold my line lifted so much better, and I'm going to use elasticity when I run. This is so important. Reduces impact on the knee by over 50%. There's actually a study that showed this. So it's important to know that you have the ability to come back to running or just reduce that knee pain during your run. It's not your knees. They're just telling you, please bend. All right, so that's one. The second thing is let's talk about the glutes, hip strength. I like to say glutes. I think people have heard this before and for their running. We need that strong core. We need that strong glutes. So this is fun. I like to say, when I was taught, by the way, initially from running from my coach, he didn't like the core because he really felt like it's going to limit people to right here. So he said like hips, let's say hips. But then hips to me, people think like just here. So I feel like if I just say the glute, it should be like an inner tube, okay? So, and this is why I have this out, because I want to show you guys something. So if I'm standing still, okay, and I saw a step in front of me, this is what most people do is they put their body weight and they press down. Well, if I press down, where's that pressure going to go? It's going to go in that knee joint. So if I walk like that or step like that or run like that, where everything's about pressure forward, that is going to be painful. Your knee does not enjoy that. So if I can teach you, you teach yourself, but I'll teach you first. So I'm going to have this because it's just a little step. You don't need the step, but I'm going to use it for effect. If I instead put my leg here, okay, and instead of pressing down on it, what if I said, let me just do this instead? I'm going to lift my torso up and I'm going to use this glute muscle. So I'm going to squeeze my glute and lift my torso. Remember, I do not want to straighten the knee. It's really important. Squeeze your glute and lift. All of a sudden, what am I feeling? It's called unweighting. I'm taking the weight off. I'm lifting up. This is so important. It's the exact opposite of putting weight down. It's activating the glute and lifting up. So by the way, this works downhill. This is a big fear with people, running downhill, walking downhill. I hear it all the time. It's bad for your knees. It's going to hurt your quads. Absolutely not if you do it correctly. But if I take my foot and I do the same thing, oh my gosh, that's not pleasant. That's putting my body weight, again, on top of my knee. We want to avoid that, right? What we want to do, it's always lift. So if I'm going down, but I also want to go forward, think about that directional lift. It's the same for walking. It's the same for running. That thought, I'm going to lift up and then what? Pull my foot up. And all of a sudden, I can go off the step, on the step, sideways if I want. And when I start to think about lifting my torso up, my feet are so much lighter. And this is important because you can practice this without running. And that's really important. So instead of thinking I've got to go run stairs or do a bunch of lunges, just need to activate the glute first. Develop that relationship. So I use this light step just because I wanted you to see it. You can do this without a step. If I just separate my legs, activate this glute, and lift. See? Lift. Start thinking up. And I'm lifting my torso, and I'm lifting my glute. Okay, I'll do the other side, and then I just lift. See? And what's amazing is it's a relationship you're building, right? So then when you walk, you can do glute walks, right? Now I'm activating things. When you run, I don't want you to activate anything. This is important. You've got to do these activation exercises when you're not running. So when you're running, you're just running. When you run, what's your job? Your job is to hold yourself up, keep your knees bent, pull your foot. That's it. So when you're going to start to run and you lift up, you need to be relaxed and let your body move, right? This is really important. It's the same thing with my knees being free. If my knees are free and I'm running, there's no stress on my knees because, again, I'm never extending them. I'm never asking them to work more than they need to. In fact, I'm asking them to work less because, remember, I only pull the foot up. The hamstring actually finishes the pull. And that's also really important because your hamstring, all it does is close the leg. There's zero pressure in the front. So the more you start realizing that, and what happens when you're running and you're traveling, your upper body weight being lifted up unweighs your feet. So all of a sudden you're running lighter. And it's important, if you're willing to do the work, it's great. You start to just practice, right? Lifting up. And I learned how to balance basically my body weight. And, again, you can do it with walking. We've got a great video on that. Honestly, I would love to coach you. You can come into the coaching membership. I will take you through it. We've had a lot of people come in. We've got people with hip replacements. We've had people with knee replacements come in. People in their 60s and their 70s come back, start running. Of course, even if you're young, we've got people with hip, IT band, all that kind of stuff. And I'm telling you, you start working through the drills, you start working through the ready stance, you start working through the practice, and all of a sudden you're like, wow, this does work. So again, I'd love to have you in the membership, or go back through these videos. We're really trying to repost and put them together. We've got the RunRx Reboot you can get started with, but really important, we've got a walking video too, is start where you are. So if my knees hurt, I'm going to start with just keeping them bent, checking if I can keep them free, lifting up, working on that pulling action to get the hamstring activated. So I hope you try these tips. And again, I really appreciate the comments, questions. Let me know if you try it, how it goes. Have a great run. And if you've already subscribed, thank you. If you haven't, please do, and share. Have a great run.